Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.
And we are live. Good morning, everyone. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver, Bitcoin Ben, and my partner, my brother from another mother, Patrick. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Just having fun. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Watching the crypto markets ebb and flow, if you would, mostly flow.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have actually been in this.
We've been on this boat before.
Oh yeah. We know this ocean. You know, it's like, oh look, it's another wave. And and that's what I've actually been explaining all week, is realize you don't want to really look at the price. What you want to do is look at the adoption rate, and not just adoption, how it's actually being plugged in to the old system and revolutionizing the old system. Now,
Right.
We are going to jump right in here real quick, and I want to share a screen. All right. There we go. All right. So New Hampshire launches the first ever Bitcoin-backed municipal bond. Now, this is a huge deal. I don't think people realize how big of a deal this is. Right? Now, let me explain why. And Mr. Patrick, I want you to jump in whenever you can. All right? Is a municipal bond is, hey, we have a road improvement, or hey, we have a bridge, or hey, we have something for the community that we want to build, but we don't want to raise taxes, and at least not right now. We can allocate future taxes to the repayment of the bond. Now, what this is exactly what I've explained with our home loans. Because what an actual bond is you're just loaning them money. That's it. We'll loan you money for 10 years, and at the end of the 10 years, you will receive what you paid in the bond, plus a little something extra. Well, what happens when you implement the Bitcoin into a bond is, number one, it is a more attractive thing to lend your money to, because then you have an asset. Because if you are actually buying a bond for a bridge, if the bond for some reason goes bad, it isn't like you own the bridge now. Right? They aren't. you aren't going to repo the bridge. Well, with this, and the reason they're doing this is municipal bonds have been going up because they're less attractive than other bonds. And now what they're doing is, hey, we need a bridge, but we're also going to take a portion of that bond and hold it in actual Bitcoin. So, and if they have a calculation, they're like, if it's a 10-year bond and the Bitcoin appreciates such and such and such, what it basically does is it allows the repayment of the bond that doesn't actually come from tax income. And that's interesting. And that's where everything is going. Every loan, every bond, everything that you lend or someone lends into will have a portion of it held in the Bitcoin.
Did New Hampshire say how much of that bond was going to be held in Bitcoin?
I think it was
the capital for the
I think it was 10%.
And what was the rate they were paying out on it?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
go ahead.
Because I think I'm trying to see if I can actually find like a link to it. I had it on Grok earlier, except it's on my phone, so I can't actually get it here. I'm pretty sure they're offering a lower interest rate because it has an asset linked with it, and it only really makes sense if they would offer a lower interest rate with the security of them holding the Bitcoin.
And municipals there's no tax on the municipals.
No.
So you have to build that in terms of capital gains, which you would pay on a normal bond. So yeah, there's that piece of it. So it is somewhat attractive. The fact that it's tied to Bitcoin is very interesting, and it's something that they have to do. So yeah. Well, good for New Hampshire. That's what my grandson calls it, New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's showing you, and that's why I keep on telling people this is exactly like the rollout of the internet, where initially everyone's all hyped up. Yeah. Then they started integrating it into corporations, and you could shop online, and you can get all of this information. You can exchange value online. And now this is where we have a whole system worldwide. The problem is money. And if you don't believe me, look at the yen interest rate today. It's 3.3. That used to be 0. And everyone would actually borrow yen and head out and invest that yen into something else, which had a higher interest rate. So what a lot of people would do is actually borrow yen, and they would actually buy U.S. Treasury bonds because they could actually...
Zero financing.
Why wouldn't you do that? Well, now 3.3, that float isn't worth it anymore. So yen is rising because they are trying to attract more real investment in the yen. And they're like, well, no, we don't. Where the hell am I going to shop for the yen? You know, and what the hell am I going to do with a yen bond? Thank you very much. No good. So it's raising. Well, that eliminates the actual carry trade of a zero interest rate yen into anything else. So Japan is in deep shit because that's what they've relied on since like the fucking 90s. You know, that's what's given them the whole reason for having a bond.
Well, the chickens have been coming to roost coming home to roost on the yen for some time anyway. Japanese economy is less than stellar.
Yep, the yen carry trade just delocated like your shoulder, where you can't do shit once it's out of the socket. And their problem is so many people have used the yen carry trade, and now that the interest rate is rising, why would you buy a Japanese bond when you just actually buy a U.S. Treasury bond at a higher rate? And since less and less people are buying it because you can no longer have free money, a lot of people are like, well, fuck that yen, I ain't buying shit, which makes the interest rate go up. And the higher it goes up, and we're at a critical point, 3.3, there's no interest. There's no interest. That means crank up the printer, because Japan is about to buy the fuck clean out of their bonds. They're basically gonna pull an America. It's like, that's okay. We don't need sellers. We have a Federal Reserve. We can just buy our own bonds. We can reach in this pocket, grab out some bonds, and put them in this pocket and make us some dollars. Yeah, Burr is right, brother. Burr is right. And that's in Japan. China's in some deep shit too. A lot of people don't realize China is not doing well, as in economically and politically.
You mean the tariffs are working?
Yes. Yes. And Xi is no longer popular. That's why Xi won't leave the country anymore. Word is, if he leaves the country, they won't let him back in. Guys, shit's getting crazy. I saw a text on Telegram, one of the group chats I'm in, of a translated Chinese article that basically said China's only hope is Bitcoin. And don't think China don't have no Bitcoin. They do. They have been a kid. Them and they have actually been getting it from an exchange in Australia and an exchange in in South Korea, and they're doing what everyone else is doing. They're just nibbling at the edges because China plays the long game. They're like, yeah, we can kind of bluff our way through this. No. Overnight repo. Remember, guys, in 2017 or 2018, the Federal Reserve was lending money directly to Japan, South Korea. They opened up currency swaps for all of these fucking countries, which means, hey, we'll take your useless money and we'll give you our useless money. That'll fix it. Yeah. It's just, I don't think people realize there is no other option. Because I think it was last week or the week before, there was a large a large shipment of gold that they found half of it wasn't all gold. It was what do they call it? Tungsten. Half of it was fucking tungsten. And they're like, and it was shipped from and they wouldn't name the source. It was shipped from a reliable entity.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Exactly. And I think it was shipped from London. And, well, shipped probably out of Perth on London books. You know, it's like, hey, ship them some gold, will you? Yeah, sure. You know, the special gold.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, you can only do that once, right?
Well, the insider said that that the entity that shipped it asked them to not report the incident because it would lead to confusion in the market.
Oh, there's no confusion.
No, there's no confusion.
There's no confusion.
No. You're shipping fake shit. There's no confusion there.
You're a scammer. You're a scammer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the world we're moving into.
Sure.
Right? Because the problem with gold is you can't verify it right on the spot.
Right.
When someone ships you gold and you receive it, then you verify it and go, oh shit, half of it's fake. Well, when someone sends you some Bitcoin, your receipt is the receiving of the asset. It's right there.
In 10 minutes, you'll know.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, what's interesting is back in 2021, China, for all intents and purposes, China had kicked out, they banned all operations related to crypto mining, and they forced miners to flee. I mean, immediately. They were driven out. They ended up, you may remember this, but they ended up going to the U.S., Canada, Kazakhstan, and Russia, right?
Yeah.
And these were Chinese nationals who left to do this. If you think that they weren't sending money home by way of Western Union, you're crazy.
You're exactly right. And I have information on this. The reason they shipped out the miners because they knew AI was rolling in. So they knew they would need a lot of energy for their AI.
That's exactly where I was going, is they knew that the infrastructure couldn't provide what they needed.
Yep. So they shit. Everyone's like, oh, they kicked out the miners. No, they didn't. They relocated their agents. That's
right.
what they did.
And that's exactly what it was. Because these guys are sending money home to mama. And the reason that they are is because their families are held hostage.
Exactly. And let me tell you what, the reserves of all of those miners, that's not theirs. That's China's actual fucking, that's all fucking China's Bitcoin. All right, don't let them fool you like, oh yeah, we left China. China kicked us out. China don't let money leave, guys. They won't let you sell a Rolex. It's because in the old days, that's how a lot of people moved money out of China, was art and Rolexes and high-end cars.
They were fake Rolexes that they made there in China.
Rolexes. Would you like a new Rolex? Yeah, it's this is what people have. I wish everyone, in fact, everyone watching right now, think like a government. Don't think like a person. Think like a government. Especially over in China, because no one wipes their ass in China without the government handing them the toilet paper. That's who was that one guy who he said something a little bit wrong and went missing for like 2 years. Oh yes, thank you, Jack. Jack Ma. All right. Yes, CEO of Alibaba. All right.
Oh yeah.
Then all of a sudden he shows up again, a lot skinnier, looking a lot more humble, looking like somebody gave him a little waterboarding. Here, let's give you a little bit of re-education, motherfucker.
And some teeth, new teeth.
Yeah. It's when you think like a government, look at the larger picture and actually have your point of view is purely government accumulating more power and making sure that the people don't get too crazy. You can do things around the edges, but don't do nothing that really pisses off the people. And you propagandize the shit out of them. And this example of what's going on up in New Hampshire it shows you where all of this is going. Because we remember now that whenever you purchase a bond, they're not shipping you a bond certificate anymore. That's what my grandfather used to receive, was a bond certificate. It's all digital now.
Suitable for framing.
Yeah. And I think everyone has that old railroad document.
Oh yeah.
My grandfather had.
Yeah.
You own part of the railroad. How much is it worth? Well, nothing. But damn Carnegie.
It's like having the the Confederate States of America dollar bill.
Yeah.
Issued out of Tennessee.
Yeah, they're going to reevaluate it someday. They're going to revalue it. We're reaching a level of adoption. On yesterday's show, I brought up Harvard's endowment's largest holding is Michael Saylor's shares. Why is that? These are not stupid people. Not hedge fund. The people who work at these endowments as the investing advisors.
Oh, you're saying that they've invested, that their largest holding is in MicroStrategy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't understand that. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And we've talked about this before. I mean, and I've had guys get in touch with me and tell me that has paid off in spades.
Yes.
This is not financial advice, by the way.
No, they are making money hand over foot because inside of the endowment, they don't just hodl it, they leverage it. And then they'll actually go out and purchase it. And then that is their hold. Then they'll actually go out and actually purchase futures and they're shorted. And that's what they get that little gap for accumulates into more shares. Because they don't want cash. Because an endowment, if it's holding cash, it's just like us. It's losing value. And they know it. So they're holding it in his shares because they know where his shares, I think one of them pays 10.5%. If you want to replace the Social Security, or here's a great example, insurance companies. Insurance companies would slit their mother's throat for 10.5%. They're used to living on about 7.
Well, they take a policy out on mom first.
Well, yeah, I mean, that just makes sense. You kind of got to front run your murder, you know? Because if you're going to kill her, might as well make a little juice off of it. And that's why the last month and a half, Michael Saylor's been buying like 400 or 600 or 300 Bitcoin each week. And everyone's like, well, what the hell is that all about? Why is he buying? So then all of a sudden, 8,100 Bitcoin, boom, in 1 week.
Yeah.
What changed? He actually received a credit rating for his company and his shares. And although it wasn't a super great one, which was absolutely bullshit, he has pristine collateral, and he's over capitalized, I think like 8%, or I'm sorry, 8 times over collateralized. That means he owns 8 times more than he owes. He has a good credit score.
Right.
Well, how they rated him was they actually did not include the amount of actual Bitcoin he holds as an asset, which is completely stupid. But
it's property. Why is it not considered an asset?
They said it wasn't proven out yet as a viable asset, which is complete horseshit. All right.
Oh,
now,
really? So these guys are waiting on Gary Gensler to come back.
Oh, they definitely are. And if you look at how they phrased it and how they word, they know if they would have rated him accurately, he would have had a higher score on his bonds than the federal government does. Yep. And that's because he has more assets than he has liabilities. The federal government has less assets than they do liabilities. But they gave him a rating, and that's all he needed.
Right.
Because there's a lot of investments, hedge funds and insurance companies that cannot invest in anything that doesn't have a rating. It doesn't matter if it's an F rating. If it has a rating, then they can allocate it, because each hedge fund or endowment has a certain percentage that they can hold. Half is in A rated, and eighth is in I don't like B and C and D. But as it's lower rating, it's a smaller allocation because of risk. But now that he has the rating, and as soon as they pass the Clarity Act, they can reevaluate his assets. That's why he sold so many this week, because as soon as he had that rating, there was a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. You got 10%. You got 10.5%. I'll take that. I mean, retirement plans alone are like 10.5%. There are retired people right now jumping up and down, living off of 10%. Think about that. If you have $1 million retirement fund, that's $100,000 a year, letting it sit there.
That's $8,000 a month.
That's $8,000 a month. I don't know many retired people that wouldn't love to have that. And that's why and Michael Saylor, we've all heard the little whispers and shit. Michael Saylor is going to open up as a bank. He will open up a fucking huge bank. And as soon as he does, bye-bye JP Morgan. Because he'll have more assets on hand than JP Morgan. And that's why Jamie Dimon, all of a sudden, he's like, no, I love Bitcoin. Yeah, I was a little bit wrong about it. Hell,
well, yeah, just a tad.
Yeah, publicly, I said I hated it, but we were buying the shit out of it, guys.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. That was a lack of communication.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you seen this week that's like really kind of caught your attention or something? And I don't care if it's actual Bitcoin or it's geopolitical or whatever. What really hopped on your radar?
Well, we had a Cloudflare incident
Just a little one.
Yeah. They're the statement that came from them was that it was an internal service degradation, but it affected some pretty significant sites. So I'm not quite buying it. I haven't talked with Austin about it, but because there hasn't been full disclosure. It impacted us because we use them for security purposes. We have some of their stuff, and so it brought us down till about, I think, 11 o'clock in the morning. But it's the bigger folks that ended up really getting nailed with that. Twitter, True Social, Coinbase,
Yes.
blockchain.com, Ledger, BitMEX. So, and Kraken reported that they had some things, but they were able to work around it. So before anybody else.
Hang on one second. Let me run an ad real quick, because everyone, Cloudflare, it is how they shut off the government. All right, shut off the internet if shit doesn't go their way. This is why we have our laptops. This is why we offer everything we have been creating, everything we have been building, with all of that. Exodus and a few other wallets don't use Cloudflare. They are private servers that do not use Cloudflare. And people don't realize Cloudflare is hackable. I have had conversations with white hats who are like, we could bring fucking Cloudflare down easy. This is why we have our laptops, because this is all fine and dandy right now. The old system's losing. They're losing bad. And they've already said, we will bring this system down before we let Trump take it over. So this is why we have our crypto laptops, and especially this is why we have our Liberty laptops, which are solely focused for your privacy. And these new laptops with their new AI, and me and Patrick had a little conversation, I think it was last week, I don't know if it was on air or off, I think it was off air, that these laptops that they're putting out now, they're sneaky with this AI. Do you remember what I'm kind of talking about?
Vaguely, I do, but one of the things that we're doing is playing with the Windows machines that have AI resident, or Copilot is resident, to make sure that we can do what we have been doing, just confirming that, because it's woven in pretty deep. As they would say, it's deeper than a Georgia tick.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely it. They've set up the system so there are corporations that can pull the plug where the government doesn't have to. The corporate Cloudflare, let's all remember who runs Cloudflare. One of them's an ex-CIA agent and the other one worked at DARPA. Gee, wonder how they got their funding for it. Because if you're a government and you know that governments are losing the ability to have influence, that's what's happening right now. We're moving away from a governance structure into a corporation-led world. That's what OpenAI is. Who do you think has more influence on the average person? Do you think the federal government does, or do you think that Google does? It ain't the federal government.
It's the Google.
It's the Google. It's Alphabet. And why do you think they named their company Alphabet? Well, I won't go into it, but hang on 1 second. Word from our sponsor.
Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.
All right, and we are back. Unfortunately, I think that Patrick has finally left us and is on his way to heaven as we speak, because he's no longer there. Let's all have a moment of silence for it. Oh, he's alive! Thank God! Oh, Patrick, we thought we lost you there for a second.
No.
I was actually getting your shoes ready.
Oh, it's so kind of you.
Well, I wanted to be prepared.
Yes, I understand.
Because once your friend reaches the age you've reached, I mean, you're well over 100 now.
Oh, yeah.
It's only a matter of time. I just want to make sure I'm prepared emotionally, and I got your shoes for you when you're in your coffin. I just want to make sure I'm prepared.
Yeah. You know, I've had yours for a while.
Oh, absolutely. Brother, this is going to be a close race. I can tell you. What? Wouldn't it be weird if we died on exactly the same day?
Who did that? I think it was, didn't Jefferson and Adams die on the same day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wasn't it July 4th?
I think it may have been.
Yeah, I think they both died on July 4th, like 1781. No.
Mr. Wolfang.
What happened?
A new shoe line called Casket Kicks.
Yeah. You know that would sell. You know it would.
Oh, hey, real fast. When my father passed away at 89, we buried him with his slippers on because he loved those damn things. And we had friends down the street. Mother died. I think mom was in her like 86 or 87. Mom could never wear heels because her feet were so jacked up. So they had the service, they had everything, and the family stuck around at the end. And it was a open casket, but only the top half was open. And then they opened the bottom half, and Mom had on a pair of 6-inch stilettos. They buried her with stiletto heels.
I don't know what it is, if it's only like your there is something about your generation. You and I unfortunately have went to a few funerals, and it was more like a celebration.
Oh yeah. There's no.
Was anything. It was like these guys are having a party for this dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is truly an Irish wake. There's no down in the mouth. I mean, you were there for my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people are telling stories. People are.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it is an amazing event. Go ahead.
When I was heading up there to actually go to your brother's funeral, I was feeling rough. I was like, damn, this is rough. And then I get there, you walk up. Now, mind you weren't jumping up or down or nothing, but you weren't really in like a negative kind of mood. You were like, this is what happens. It's just an actual part of life. And how you guys had set up his casket and everything, I swear to God, it looked like a tailgate party. I'm sitting there like, holy cow, this guy's going out in a bang,
Yeah, there was a floral arrangement. He was a Cubs fan. And
yeah.
There was a floral arrangement that had the Cubs logo there, and there was another floral arrangement. And some of it was very nice and appropriate. I mean, it was the decorum you would expect, but somebody had to do something with the Cubs theme just because he was that big of a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Daddy-O, there was no booze there. Now, afterwards, maybe, but there was no booze there. We don't, that doesn't happen until later.
Yeah, and I actually showed up and I went in there and I saw like the environment, and I literally thought to myself, I wouldn't doubt if someone cranked up a barbecue pit right now. How do you like your burgers?
Yeah, it was. That's the way I was raised. That's the way it goes. I mean, and I understand because my wife went to her first wake. One of my aunts died, and she was appalled. Was the way that she was appalled at the behavior. That there was no somber. There was no. It seemed like it was irreverent, and I said, no, that's the furthest thing from it. I mean, we were celebrating her life, and as crusty and as mean as she was, because that aunt was, she was. I believe the phrase is meaner than a shithouse rat.
She was special.
She was old, cantankerous, and mean. She spit nails. But I mean, people were telling stories about her, and it was an event, and so she got used to it, and then I think it was 2 or 3 funerals later, my sister's boy, the oldest of hers, may have been 4 years old, and it was the first funeral he had gone to, and it was a big room, lots of people there, and all of a sudden he yells across the room to my sister, "Hey, Mom, who's the guy in the box?" And the place erupted.
4-year-olds, man.
The place erupted with laughter, and I mean, only in an Irish wake would that happen. Yeah.
Well, and everyone watching that, like they're talking about funerals. It's 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 all relative. I mean, you and I, we have a we have what we do, we have our business, we have all this shit going on. At the end of the day, it's you're here for for a limited amount of time. Unless AI and robotics fucking take over, then all of the elites are gonna live forever and just leave us
Sure.
here on Earth.
Sure.
And but it's all relative, you know. It's and I mean, life is about learning, and what I've realized is life is really about you learning you.
Very much.
It's
Yeah.
it is very you centric because you know what you've done, you know what you haven't done, you know the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, and it's really a search for happiness and a search for actual meaning, and it's very interesting. Now let's jump onto the Bitcoin again and world governments. All right, we we have information now on what Europe and the BBC was actually doing and who all was involved, and showing that the BBC received over the years almost, God, what was it, like $400 billion from U.S. aid, and it really kind of shows you the whole system, the whole global system, and how anti-American, and when I say American, I mean original American constitutional government structure, how anti that they are. And Trump knows, and a lot of people in the know what he's going to use the Bitcoin for, because everything they have built was actually built on top of the US dollar. And what people don't realize is Trump doesn't care about the dollar. What he cares about is the treasuries, the treasury bonds. He doesn't care how they're represented as long as they're at the heart of the system and they're not ran through the Federal Reserve and over in Europe, the Bank of England and all that bullshit, because they use it against us. That's why he's launching this. He's rearranging the whole system. He says anybody can issue a stable coin with the US dollar as long as they own treasuries or an equivalent of treasuries. Now that's the key. The equivalent of a treasury is a U.S. federal government asset. That's what an equivalent of a U.S. treasury is. That means anyone who owns treasury bonds or owns a bunch of Bitcoin, because if it's a reserve asset for the federal government, then it is a treasury equivalent under the treasury laws. And pretty soon, they are going to sell treasury bonds for direct fucking Bitcoin. Watch for it. It's coming.
So is Tether going to have to hold?
Yep. They are the 18th largest holder of U.S. Treasury bonds.
So any question of their absence or lack of inadequate reserves will be answered at that point.
Yep.
Okay.
That because the CEO of Tether was on an interview with a boy Nico yesterday or the day before, and the CEO said that the Bitcoin is on its way to actually being the global reserve asset. And they own two things. Tether pushes all of their profits into gold and Bitcoin, but the majority is Bitcoin. They're holding the gold because the BRICS are going to issue their own, kind of like what the U.S. is doing, and they'll offer gold-backed stable coins. And also, eventually, they'll move into holding the Bitcoin and letting anyone in that arena launch their coin as long as it's backed with gold or actual Bitcoin. And everyone's going to prefer the Bitcoin because of what just happened, where they received half of their gold, or they received their gold and half of it was fake. Because how do you do that? Do you actually melt down all of the gold in the world all at once and go, okay, let's see what's real? They don't want to do that because they know they have so many derivatives on that shit that if you prove half of, or let's not even say half, let's say a quarter is fake, those derivatives are gone. They're done.
So is the standard 24 karat or 18?
I think it's 18.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is that if the 24 is legitimate, and you have BS in the 18, you're going to average back to 18. But your point is a good one, and that is you really can't tell until, I mean, you'd have to drill into all of it and then do a test.
Yep.
And we ain't got no time for that.
I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. All I did was smell smoke, and I was like, oh, good Lord, I'm going to catch the...
I got bronchitis.
I got bronchitis. Yeah. That's such a great clip. That will live.
God love her. That was just, yeah. The sound bite that will never go away.
It's Carrie. Oh, let me see. Let me verify. Hello there, Carrie. How are you, babe? I am praying for you, Carrie. And I am sure if anybody's going to kick the shit out of cancer, it's going to be you, girl. You are a bad mofo. All right. What would you consider the most reliable stable coin? Probably Tether, because they are the largest and they have a shit ton of reserves, an absolute shit ton, which is what you want. I mean, there's nothing like a good shit ton.
USDC is pretty good too.
Yeah, it's It's just their
Circle.
yeah, and they're held up with Cloudflare. So it's Tether is not held up with Cloudflare. That's why yesterday, when everything went down, they had no problem. They run on Ethereum. They run on Tron,
Yes.
and like a bunch of other. And I think they've also implemented Tether on the Lightning Network. Does that sound right? I don't know.
That one I can't speak to, but I know that they are. Tron is one of their partners in productivity. So,
yep. In fact, Tron has the highest volume of Tether in the world.
yes, yeah.
So everyone who's laughed at Tron and been like, "Oh," because originally I think it was called Ant Shares.
Yes, it was something really bad.
They're like, nope, we're rebranding as Tron. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I could call it nerd.
Yeah. That CEO of fucking Tron, he's a special individual.
Oh yeah.
When we were in Las Vegas, we were in like the lower area where all of the VIPs are actually like dropped off and stuff. And here he comes, and he's literally dressed up in a moon suit, a bright orange moon suit. And I'm like, isn't he special?
He was a pylon. He was dressed as a pylon that day.
Or an Oompa Loompa. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
He's about the same height as an Oompa Loompa. All right, Patrick, we have a show here in about an hour.
Yes, sir.
Would you let everyone know where they can find it and where we'll be at?
Sure. Using your CALIX laptop, either the crypto or the Liberty laptop, you can get a subscription to either Cyber Stuff or the live chat version. Through the portal, you'll find CALIX Cyber Suites, and both subscriptions are available. We send out an email prior to the show on Wednesday with a link to the live show. You can also go and see the archive. If you don't have one of our laptops, you will need to get one in order to participate in this. Or we talk about cryptos, we talk about security, we talk about things that are going on in the world in terms of how we're affected by different systems and applications. So it's a good discussion, and it's some really solid information. So feel free to join us. Again, that's through our website, calixsolutions.io. If you have the laptop, you would go to the portal, log in, and then go to CALIX Cyber Suites.
Yep, and wherever you're watching, there should actually be a link to our show, our website, right under here. You just go under there, you click it, and it actually takes you right to our website. And I'm sure today we are going to talk a little bit more about Cloudflare and how interesting that was. And this is a show that if you actually want to keep up on the warnings of what's going on in the crypto world, this is a show for you. That's exactly what Patrick does is he looks out there and he looks around and he was like, okay, what's going on security wise?
Yeah, actually a good point. one of the things that we're going to talk about today is crypto private key theft, and how that's become a big business, as well as there's a Google extension thieves are Google extension thefts are taking place, where people are getting their seed phrase lists lifted. So you might want to join us for that one. So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And guys, this is what I want you to realize about AI and the new AI in the laptops that they are putting out. This AI uses the metadata from your laptop as learning material. Recognize that. They are learning, they are training the AI in real time using your laptop. Because why would they train it on something else which they have to actually pay power for, when they can set it up where it actually learns on your usage of your laptop? This is why the Liberty laptop is set up, so you don't have to worry about this bullshit. And we also show you the 93 or 98% of the internet that Google won't show you. With our laptop and education that we send with the laptop, you learn how to actually realize the larger web. All right, everyone. All right, Patrick, I'll see you in about 15 minutes or so.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.